to the November 1995 issue of Macworld. It's currently the last week of October, week before Halloween as I'm recording this, and at least where I am, we've had a couple of cold fronts, and yesterday it got down to 30 overnight, which was pretty cold in my little trailer. So, yeah, anyway, by this point, if you've been watching the channel, you probably know the drill. We're going to read through this issue of Macworld from 30 years ago. Just take a look, see what looks interesting. And anyway, yeah, here we go. Just looking at the cover. A sneak peek of the latest version of Newton OS on page 138, which is, I think, the first mention of the Newton, really. Or maybe a second in several months. So yeah, obviously talking about the Powerbook 5300, which was not a good computer. But anyway, yeah, let's go. Right off the bat, we got this weird Microsoft Excel ad with a weird layout and touch angles over here. And I still think this hole is weird. I don't understand why the hole is there or what it's for. If it was a real magazine, I would think it would be a cutout, but why? I don't know. It's weird. It's got more CD-ROM ads. 6 times speed. You know, it's funny because focus was on, making the things as fast as possible. And then every time you would actually go and, the read speed, sure. But if you're going to write, well, yeah, you need to make sure it's on the slowest, write speed possible so it doesn't get screwed up. I just remember that being a thing over and over again. So, anyway. Here we go, table of contents, more 90s graphics. Here, weird orange backlighting and all kinds of weird stuff going on here. Yeah. More Microsoft. This one is PowerPoint. And I guess this lady is giving a hard-hitting PowerPoint presentation to this dude that looks like he's from the 1930s for some reason. Or is that a bust? Is that a bust? That's a bust. I guess maybe he was from the 1930s. That's kind of weird. Carts over here. You've seen these cart ads before. Yeah. Let's see. I will say, going through them month by month like this, you really get the sense of how many ads were just reused over and over and over for months, with nothing new. So apologies if it gets a little repetitive, but yeah. I will say there's so many programs here that just don't exist anymore, like the category of programs. There's another MS-DOS card. You put this in your Mac and get MS-DOS compatibility. It's an Intel DX4/100, so 100 megahertz. I bet that costs a pretty penny. Yeah, price from $999. So buy a Macintosh for several $1,000s and slap another $1,000 on it and get DOS. I mean, I guess if you have all the money in the world, sure. Let's see. Now we're doing 100 base T networking over here as faster than 10 base T. More hard drives. 1 gig for $329. You pay $100 more, you get this portable solution. I do like this little weird docking station thing. I don't think that really caught on because, $429. Not gonna hot swap a lot of things, but it looks like it looks like something out of like a 1990s thriller or something, hey, we need to find some weird looking piece of hardware. Alright, sure. More lazy ads. This side quest. I'm not sure if Zip was out yet. Maybe it was. What's this? Readers Bill of Rights, taking a stand on ethics in media. What? I mean, I don't want to get into the ethics of media at this point. There's too much going on. I would say the ethics of media they're talking about 30 years ago in a computer magazine is probably a lot different than what we're talking about now. It's an ad for Adobe. If you can dream it, you can do it. It's almost Halloween as I'm recording that, so, don't dream it, be it. From Rocky Horror. Same Photoshop 3 that we've seen a couple times with just weird 90s art, and it's so odd and surreal. For PageMaker, let's see, Illustrator, which I guess he did this with Illustrator, and get the Adobe Graphics Sampler today. Okay, let's see. Anything interesting in the letters? Date of the Mac. Talking about radius over here. Porting. Just talking about games on the Mac. Porting a year-old game and expecting Mac gamers to jump is ridiculous, especially when quality games like Marathon and Dark Forces are here now. Former games shows that a Mac-only development company can be a success, and the latter that a PC company can make a Mac product and be well received. My advice to Origin and other game developers: if you want to test the Mac waters, concurrently develop Mac and PC versions of the game so we don't feel like we're getting leftovers. I still agree. 30 years later. Very interesting mentioning Marathon here, because that is, of course, Bungie, who you may also know as the developers of a little game called Halo, which, of course, Bungie was bought by Microsoft, and Halo became the tour de force for the Xbox. And now, 30 years later, Halo is now being sold on the PlayStation. And Xbox is completely floundering. That's neither here nor there as far as the scope of this channel. But I do think it's neat seeing a little mention of a Marathon there. Let's see here. Back up on CD. $14.95. Tape is out and optical is in. And of course the irony is, 30 years on, the tapes are probably still readable. It says they have a 5-year shelf life, but my experience is that they're probably still readable. The recordable CD supposedly has a 100-year shelf life, but we have definitely found that that's not true. Discs are suffering from bit rot. Early DVDs are suffering from bit rot, and I personally do have a lot of old CDs that still work. I mean, I say that, but it's also been probably, oh gosh, I don't know, a decade or more, really, since I've consistently used CDs, for anything. And now, most of the time, like if I get a new music CD, it exists purely for me to rip it, and that's it. So it gets opened, it gets ripped, and then it goes back in the box for archive reasons, even though it'll probably succumb to bit rot by the time I try to use the CD again. Canvas is what they'll think of next. For a designer or illustrator, the only tool more important than Canvas is a coffee machine. Still no idea what it does. I guess it's probably like a design. The best of Illustrator, Freehand, QuarkXPress, and Photoshop. Okay. Alright, here's an ad from Apple. Let's see. It's not how powerful the computer makes you. It's not how powerful the computer is. Oh wait, it's not how powerful the computer is. It's how powerful the computer makes you. And then they show this guy. Where is this? apparently a cafe on the Champs-Elysees, I guess. Do a edit on a sales video at 30,000 feet. Not sure what kind of video they were editing on a Powerbook 5300, but anyway. Oh, excuse me, I got a cold here. Well, it's not a cold, it's just drainage, but TMI, right? There's a Nikon slide scanner. My dad had one of these, not the specific model, a much later one, but they really did do some really cool scanning. They were just extremely expensive. Alright, now we're talking about the Mac's online share. So we've got, this is interesting here, they've got Prodigy, they've got CompuServe, they've got America Online, and then over here it's this weird thing that's just http://www. So it's weird to me that they're laying it out like this, where it's like, okay, you've got this service, you've got this service, you've got this service, and the actual World Wide Web is sort of its own service. I mean, not exactly, but that was the state of online at the time. Excuse me, man. I apologize for the noise. We've got PC cards, PCMCIA. Is that the right acronym? PCMCIA? Yeah, okay. It's a PC card slots, formerly PCMCIA. This is the first time I've ever seen anyone say formally PCMCIA, so I don't know when that was actually changed. I don't know. Anyway. Excuse me, man. I'm doing the best I can. uh, let's see here. Mac online presence. Total installed systems. You got Mac over here, you got PC over here, and Unix/others, which is this little bitty slot here. Got Yahoo searches. Got Xylem web pages. I don't even remember what those are. There's a lot of Mac users on AOL over here. That's weird. What is that, like 25% of AOL users are Mac users? That's weird. We got Windows NT 3.5.1 for the Power PC. That didn't go anywhere. That didn't go anywhere at all. Usenet. Senator James Axon used samples from Purient Usenet newsgroups to bolster support for online censorship. If email is a postal system of the internet, Usenet is its public bulletin board. I think it's still there. If you want to use it, you can use that. And retrospect backup over here. Let's see, new products. Anything interesting here? Macland, Connect Kit. The Mega Drive Enterprise. What is that? I wonder if they had a problem with their name, since Mega Drive is what the Sega Genesis is called in everywhere that's not the US. That's interesting. Let's see, what the heck is this? Kai's Power Tools 3. Unlock your brain. That's a Photoshop plugin. Plugin. Bleh. Hearts Deluxe 4.0. Play a weird looking game of Hearts over here. Still selling that quick cam. Here we go, $3.99 for this little photo printer. It looks like it prints. Does it actually print on photo paper? Maybe? I'm not entirely sure how this works. But $3.99? Honestly, that's not that bad for the time. Let's see here. Here's a standalone touchpad. Still don't know why those didn't catch on. Take an active role in foreign policy. Playing A10 attack. No. I'd rather not. Another Radius clone ad. These guys were on borrowed time. Reviewing PageMaker 6. Color Publishing. Something called LabVIEW. FrameMaker is a page layout program. That's interesting. That sounds like something Adobe probably bought. FaceSpan. What the heck is that? An AppleScript interface builder. That's interesting. Designed to create quick mock-ups of application interfaces. So you make an AppleScript and you put a GUI on it? I guess? Huh. AppleScript lasted a long time. I think you might still be able to do it in current Mac OS. I'm not positive. Oh, here we go. The Apple Color Style Writer 2200, which is wasn't that a Canon printer? $419, pretty expensive, but it's also a pretty small printer. Yeah, it's a tiny, tiny printer. It's very slow. Takes 3 minutes to print a color page. That is pretty ridiculous. I don't have my first printer that I ever had that was mine was a small little desktop thing similar to this. And I really, really love that thing. Yes, it was incredibly slow. No, it was not good for a lot of things. It was only black and white. I can't remember the model number or whatever. I want to say it was a Canon. I don't remember the model number. I remember you could use it with the HP 100LX with a cable thing. And I do remember that, and I printed some stuff that I wrote on the HP 100LX on that. But it was really cool because it had a battery pack. So you could print wirelessly, which was just, well, you still had to be connected, but, the printer didn't have it plugged into the wall, which was just crazy. Let's see, it's HyperCard. Hey, here's that ad for Apple. We saw this last month. That's the Windows 95. I'm be interested to see if this is multiple pages or if it's just the one ad. Introducing Windows 95 lets you drop files anywhere you want on the desktop. Imagine that. Unless they're open or something. So okay, sorry, I gotta insert my Windows annoyance of the month here. So, at work, I've had some times recently where I've had to download some photos from our work order application. Okay, and because of the way the system works, the photos all have the same file name. Okay, so I'm just dragging and dropping. I just drag it out of the application, effectively out of the web browser and on the desktop. Right? Sure, no problem. So I drag one, no problem. I drag the second one. Whoa, you can't do this. It has the same file name. Do you want to replace it or just do nothing? And I'm like, no, what I want you to do is just put a 1 on the end of it, like a sensible operating system would do, and let me copy it. But no, that's not an option. So I have to make a whole bunch of loopholes just to download some photos. Anyway, that's this month's Windows annoyance. Unless there's another one later. And yeah, it looks like this is going to be the series of the Windows 95 ads again. Yeah. A bunch of reviews, color stuff. Here's the end. Imagine all this cool stuff you can do with a Mac, which is cool. It was cool. AGFA printers. I just realized that I have read that wrong. I think my entire life it's not AFCA, it's AGFA. Wow. Well, hell. Sorry about that. Uh, oh, hey, your computer had a problem. There was a system bomb. You should have bought Kingston memory. I don't really think that's gonna make much of a difference, unless I guess if your RAM is like cheap crap that just fails. But system bomb might not be RAM; it might be all kinds of things. So anyway, here's a Canon: one computer, two computers, three computers, four, five computers, six computers, seven computer more. I guess it's just this is a color laser and plug and play with a whole bunch of different stuff. Our color systems offer photographic quality reproduction, networking, all kind of stuff. So I'm actually in the middle of reading Dealers of Lightning. It's a book about Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, and I mean I knew they did the Alto and had done a bunch of early computer stuff. I did not know that they invented the laser printer. So it's just been interesting reading that, and the big thing is that the patent was expiring on the selenium material that was on the drum of photocopiers, and so Xerox was kind of panicking about that, and that is the world into which they invented the laser printer, and yeah, presumably a lot of modern uh, copiers actually are probably laser printers. But anyway, so it's interesting seeing this Canon ad, this advertising effectively the competitor there. Alright, collegiate dictionary on the CD-ROM. Yeah. Let's see. More CD-ROM stuff. The All Movie Guide, 90,000 movie and video listings. So it's just a database of movies plus online video purchasing. What in the world is that? Videos available for online purchase. They have 15,000 videos. I guess maybe they have a link or something you can click and it takes you somewhere where you can buy, most likely, VHS. Anyway. Alright, what is this? Alright, at ease for work groups. Um, I hate this software. I absolutely hate this software. It is stuff it basically replaces, uh, the Mac OS, okay? And so the stuff you see over here is exactly what you see when you're running this software. You can only click these buttons. Oh, excuse me, it's late here. Anyway, you can only click these buttons and you can't do anything else. So the first vintage Mac that I got, it was a Powerbook 1400. I still have it somewhere. I love that computer. It's a brick, but it's a really good computer. Anyway, my first foray into doing stuff with classic Mac OS, I was just messing around with stuff, and I saw this at ease software, so I thought, hey, I'll install this. I'll give it a try. Sounds pretty cool. I had this book about Macs for Teachers, for Dummies, I think, or something like that, and it recommended this, so I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I installed it, and it was such a pain getting it to go away. I think I ended up having to just reformat the drive and start from scratch because it was a pain in the butt. It was a pain in the butt. I suppose it was good for students, but for actual like other people, no, it was a pain in the butt. All right, this is a mouse track. So okay, what is this? It has a padded rest and dock with it. So it's a so is it a trackball with a mouse? Huh. That's weird. Hello world, the internet starts here. It's so weird to read this stuff. It's just at the crux of online stuff. Oh God, Wacom. God, why? Why? Why with these ads? My God. Oh. Here we go. A DeskJet 850 with a real-life imaging system. That does look pretty good. That's pretty good. This looks very similar to a printer that we had. We always got HP printers because my dad was a programmer and he used HP 9000 systems, and he just, he was a staunch HP man. It wasn't until much later in life that I turned everybody into a Mac user. Uh, but so we had HP computers, either HP or Compaq, and we had HP printers for sure. And honestly, I never had a problem with our HP printer. I thought it did pretty much everything I wanted it to do. So, yeah. Let's see. Reliable power for your Mac. Here we go. The Power PC Portables. Newest Mac notebooks offer a wealth of features and expansion options. So, I'm going by memory here, so I may be wrong. But the one they're talking about, the 5300, um, was not a good computer. It was not a good computer, and they had problems with the battery, and they had to recall them all, and it just got a really bad reputation. But anyway, they've got all kinds of expansion slots. I'd love to have one now to play around with. Uh, let's see, a longer lasting batteries. Yeah, it was supposed to have is a lithium ion battery, which was it was supposed to be, it was like the first time they used an Li-ion battery. Um, of course, now they're really common, whether they use them for a long time. It replaced the nickel metal hydride battery, okay? But they caught fire. The two of them caught fire, and there was a huge recall, and then they ended up actually shipping the things with the nickel metal hydride battery, which gives it about half of the expected battery life. So it is terrible. This terrible, terrible computer. Because look, they're all talking about, oh, look, it's like triple the battery life. Well, nope, not in the end. Not in the end at all. Oh, don't know why the scan is messed up here, but yeah. Of course, the big thing was the trackpad. The powers before this all had the trackballs, and now they went to the trackpad, which looks absolutely minuscule compared to today's trackpads. Again, I'm sorry, I don't know why the scan is messed up here. It looks like a later article. We'll see here. Alright. So, they still have the Powerbook 190. It's the last 68,000 computer. It's a lot cheaper. But, yeah, so let's I still want page up and page down keys on a Mac notebook keyboard. And I hope Apple really will offer a full IRDA compatibility for cross-platform infrared transmission. Yeah, remember when infrared was going to be a big thing in computers? No. I had several devices that had infrared on them. And none of them used them. None of them. And Apple didn't properly implement the standard. They use their own weird crap because they're Apple. That's what they do. And so it never worked there. You can never just transmit stuff with a Palm Pilot or stuff like that. Maybe you could later, but I never got it to work. I had several. Let's see. I had a I had HP 100LX and 200LX, which I believe has IRDA on it, and several other things. The only thing that I can think of that actually had infrared um, that I used that I can remember is the Lego Mindstorm set that had the programmable robotic brick. Um, and I have that, still have it somewhere. I love that thing. I actually ended up programming some in a program language called Not Quite C, which is not quite C. Um, but it came with an infrared tower you plug into your computer, and when you're ready to send the computer, when you send the program to the robot, you press a button, and it would transmit the infrared to your RCX brick. Excuse me here. And that's literally the only infrared thing I can ever think of that I actually used. And then it went away. It was on the very first iMac, uh, the first revision. Only the first revision, and then it went away because no one wants to use infrared. Oh man, here's a power computing ad. Alright, now we're talking about building your own web page using HTML, I guess. Everything you need to know with all kinds of like FTP stuff and how you design it. Hey, here's a little rundown on HTML. And that's about the most HTML that I can do. I had a web design class in 1998. I believe it was 1998. Yeah, and we did HTML. We did the basic stuff. We did frames. We did all kinds of stuff. I miss frames actually. Um, so I can do a little bit with HTML, just a little bit. I'm not even gonna say a little bit to be enough to be dangerous. Not anymore, anyway. I never really learned CSS, and so I wouldn't have the foggiest idea how to do anything but the most basic website today. But anyway, it's neat seeing this little breakdown of the different tags here. Mastering the XML lexicon. Alright. Oh, it's an app. Used to have a 10 grip. Used to dance the pogo. Used to use Microsoft Word. Ask Brittany Stromberg about her past with Microsoft Word. She just shakes her head. I never even use it anymore, she says. The interface really bugged me. Now she uses WordPerfect for the Mac. It runs faster, requires less disk space, and offers things Word simply doesn't. Like new version 3.5 with the ability to import and create your own internet pages. Bookmarks for linking text. You'll even speak what you write. All good reasons to buy the buried Word in the closet. Right next to the old prom pictures. uh, $89 for WordPerfect. I used WordPerfect for a long time, and yeah, I used that before I used Word. We used WordPerfect. I don't remember why we're a WordPerfect family and not a Word family, but I still have some very, very old files on my computer that are in WordPerfect format, and every time I want to open one, I forget that you have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops to get it translated into a modern format that you can read. It's just a pain in the butt, but I do still have those files. It's kind of hitting me that I have files on my computer that go back 30 years now. That's kind of crazy, but I mean, what can I say? I'm a digital pack rat. I try to keep everything. Protect your email. Secure electronic mail. None of this stuff matters anymore. Everything is completely different now. So, yeah. We saw this ad last time for soft Windows where you can emulate Windows and the Mac, which must have been incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. False security. Is this an ad or an article? Alright, think again about your software's built-in password protection. Yeah, passwords. Yeah, this isn't secure. Yeah. How tough is your productivity software? We're talking about cracking stuff. Let's see. Alright, here we go. SideQuest, what is this? Fujitsu Dynamo optical drive. 230 megabytes rewritable. Oh, the writing was on the wall for that stuff when zip disk came around. It's the best integrated software program. It's Claris versus Microsoft. Whatever you need to do, Claris Works has everything you need to use one box. Microsoft Works is the right tools for all your house and homeschool needs. We use another one. So it's David Polk here. I guess he's going in today with can you get done with Claris? Can you get it done with Microsoft? It's not importantly, not Office, but Works. Microsoft Works was really so. Okay, Claris Works is an evolution of Apple Works, which of course started on the Apple II, actually. And so Microsoft Works was their integrated software package that is to compete with Apple Works slash Claris Works, as opposed to, Office, which was like the more professional stuff. They do both. They both do databases. They both do basically everything. Honestly, I'd pick Claris just because I don't want to use Microsoft. But it's another Apple ad. Same theme. It's not how powerful the computer is. It's how powerful the computer makes you. They're advertising. Let's see. Power Macintosh 8500. Now probably costs $7,000 or $8,000 there. That's crazy. What is down the road for Adobe? Well, let me tell you. Oh God, Adobe. Oh man. Anyway, F Adobe. I guess this is a monthly column now. It's graphics thing. Like, graphics professionals share their secrets, and then they show this like weird nightmare image here. Like, what is this? There are these flowers and like this person here, and like what is this supposed to represent? What is this supposed to be? This is like someone's fever dream. Oh, here we go, another Microsoft ad. This one's for Word. Microsoft Word 6.01. Remember when they used to advertise, software based on, the actual numbers of the software, like 6.01. That's you don't see that anymore. People, other than I guess Mac, Mac OS 26 now, and stuff like that. But like, nobody says, "Oh, this is version 4.3." You know what I mean? It was complicated enough when we were still on OS 10, and it'd be like, "Oh yeah, this is Mac OS 10 version 10.4 or Mac OS 10 version 10.5," and it's really confusing. And that's why you can just call it Tiger or Leopard or whatever. That's a lot better. I'm rambling. Sorry. Stick with me. FileMaker Pro. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Finally. Sneak peek of the new OS. So, this is, version 2.0. Codename Dante. Which is a really weird codename for software. Like, it has much better handwriting recognition. I think most people never saw it because the Newton pretty much bombed And so nobody bought the version where you can install version 2.0 on, but it does have much better handwriting recognition. And uh, yeah, you can actually spin the screen and you can do a bunch of other stuff. That's really cool. But I think it's very, very telling that almost everything I've seen in this magazine about the Newton has basically been like, this is a failed product. Why are we talking about this? Why is this even in the magazine? It's just, it's clearly, I mean, it's still, what, I think 2 years away from being killed at this time, but clearly nobody wants it. Clearly nobody wants it. Here's the Apple ad for the kids. Can your kids invite home 31 kids from 6 countries and not track dirt all over the carpet? I don't know, but is this racist? Are we assuming these kids are wearing these cultural shoes like this? I mean, I get what they're saying, but I also don't. I don't know. Anyway, it's a performer. Blah, blah, blah. Performer. Alright, desktop printing. What are they talking about? Desktop printing. Are you just talking about, like, you make an alias and you... Oh, the desktop print monitor. Oh, so you just drop stuff in it and it prints? Is that what it is? I guess so. A portable computer projector. It enlarges more than your image. It enlarges your idea. And then they've apparently enabled big head mode over here. It's only 19 pounds. My God, it weighs 20 pounds. Holy crap, man. Sheesh. I wonder how much that costs. I did have a projector for a while. It didn't use HDMI. It uses some other weird format. But it really was nice to watch movies on a big screen. And, nowadays it's not that good of a projector, but you get way better projectors for way cheaper. But anyway, they were fun to have, and certainly used it a lot in college. People learn you have a projector and you make friends, basically. Let's see. Here's a PC card that's the X jack connector. So this is the thing. So you plug the card in and then you press this little button on the card, and out pops this little slot that you see here, down here, and you would plug your phone line into that, like from the top. So you didn't have to have a separate little cable or anything. The whole connector is just built into the card, and that's how the modem works. And so, really cool. Let's see. Tips and tricks. Talk about the secret of Outbox and 7.5.1. I forgot we're still on System 7 at this point. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, isn't great digital video worth $499? Man, that's a compressor. Dang, man, that's expensive. Let's see. CompuServe. Oh, that stuff was quickly going to fade. Quickly. Within the next couple of years, it's going to be gone. There's another Apple ad. They have way more ads. Like, I subscribed to Macworld when I got my first Mac in 2005. So, 10 years after this, okay? And so I had a year subscription to Macworld, And what I remember is that there was usually an Apple ad on the inside back cover, and maybe one other place. But they've had multiple ads here, which really all that does is speak to a company that is desperate for people to buy their stuff. So same deal. It's not how powerful the computer is. This is the Power Macintosh 9500. So dang, that's expensive. Mac is an internet server, ISDN router. What the heck? Our Any just became an Audi? That's another PC card. Okay. Alright, Powerbook notes over here. This ad is weird. Are this boxing shorts? Like boxers? Okay. That's weird. Let's talk about the expansion bays, which I do really like the idea of the expansion bay. My Powerbook 1400 has it, and it is really nice to be able to just swap the floppy drive for a CD-ROM drive at the drop of a hat, and not have to worry about it, and it's just a straight swap. And you can even hot swap them, I think. So it was nice to be able to do that. I would say I wish they brought that back, but where are they gonna put it, and what even is gonna be there? Because everything is USB-C now, so I don't know. Let's see. Their laser printing system. Macworld Expo, San Francisco, 1996. January. Moscow Center. I bet that was fun. Pantone color drive. Is it monitor calibration? Not sure what it is. It doesn't talk about having a little sensor thing. So I don't know. Let's see. The desktop critic. The LA Times. Electronic crossword puzzles. This is crossword puzzles. I hate crossword puzzles. If you like them, great. Good. More power to you. I hate them. New from America Online. We built a better browser, and we decided to use all kinds of different font sizes and italics and underlines to tell you. And look at this. Is this supposed to be good layout? Who thought this was good layout? Who thought this was good? Like, I watched a Helvetica documentary recently. I've seen it before, but I'm just watching it again. It's a fantastic documentary if you haven't seen it. But it does talk about these designers that were doing this kind of weird stuff in the early 90s, and every one of them that they interviewed that did that stuff sounded so pretentious to me. They all sounded like they were so full of it, and they were just talking about how they did all this weird and crazy stuff. And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at stuff like this, and I'm like, what the heck, man? Who is... Like, are you reading the same stuff that you're producing? Are you looking at it after the job is done? Because it's not good, man. It's not good. Just because you made a design and you proclaim to the world that it's amazing doesn't make it amazing. Oh God, same design over here. Let's see. How do you get CD-ROM software? Mail order, retail stores, and online services. We never ordered anything with mail order growing up. I wish I could have seen what that was like, but never used it. We pretty much, for computer stuff, pretty much shopped at CompUSA, which I always called Compusa, just because it looked like that. But I really miss CompUSA. It was really, really cool to have an entire store. It wasn't a store that was like, oh, this is the electronics and this is, all the other stuff. No, the whole store. A whole big, huge, big box store with just computers. And it was really, really cool. And I miss that. I miss that place a lot. So just being able to go and look at stuff. It's not the same thing looking at it online. Alright. The CD-ROM Expo here. Getting toward the end here. Well, I say that, we're still at like 180 or 300 something pages. We're going to go faster toward the end here though, because like I said, most of these ads are the same. Upgrades for a whole new age of apples. Talking about PCI-based Power Macs, yeah. And here we go, rankings. 3D software, Sharp, everything. Look at these projectors, look cool. What the heck is this? Doom 2 for the Mac. This looks more like Quake or something. I don't think of this aesthetic really as Doom. A message to those who've been dying for Doom to come to the Mac. You know nothing about dying yet. And man, Doom, man. A SCSI drive. Yeah, here's the Apple accessibility ad over here. Greatest thing since sliced bread. No, it's not. Ooh, a digital camera. Enough memory for 96 digital images. That must be terrible quality. I feel like I've said exactly the same. Oh, here we go. Totally Twisted After Dark. Recently, I think his name is Gruz. G-R-U-A-Z, I think. Am I talking about the same person? I'm not sure if I'm talking about the same person. It's the guy that runs the channel that used to be called the Definitive Mac Upgrade Guide, and now it is just DMG, I think. Anyway, he, I don't want to say reverse engineer, but he basically did a bunch of work and put flying toasters out for my Mac. And it's amazing and it looks great. And so I'm hoping he does more stuff, especially things like these Totally Twisted After Dark, which we had as a kid. I probably shouldn't have been looking at that stuff, but that's what we had. And it was really cool. Screensavers were cool, man. Alright, here, we're getting down to here's a Polaroid image scanner. That was cool. Scanning these slides. 2700 DPI in 30 seconds. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. There's another Apple ad. It's an internet kit. What the heck is this? Talking about FTP and stuff? Go for the internet connection kit. Okay. More standalone trackpads. A phone book on CD-ROM. Kensington Turbo Mouse. Never seen this one. This one looks interesting. Huh. Let's see. Fax on demand. You can fax and they'll send you stuff. Fax machines, man. Alright, Mac connection over here. All these CD-ROM bundles you can get. Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff here. Does anyone still send out paper catalogs? I really wish they did. I miss that stuff. I might see if somebody still does. Like Mac Mall, do they still exist? I don't even know if they still exist. Alright. Here's the 9500 that they were doing the ad for earlier in the magazine. So it is $45.79. So not as expensive as I thought it was, but pretty damn expensive still. Yeah, let's see. All kinds of different accessories. Like I said, a lot of these accessories are just, similar ones and similar ads for every magazine. So, the Sony Magic Link, hey, that's a really early, let's see, I think you hooked it up to the phone. It was different anyway. There we go, flying toasters. Quick cam, Macintosh memory upgrades. Portrait monitors, this pivoting monitor. That's really cool. Let's see here. Anything else interesting? This is Mac Warehouse. We're at 248. There's still 50 pages left in this thing. There's so many ads. And they're all the same. 4 gigabytes under $1,000. That was a good deal. That's a very good deal. God, 4 gigabytes in 1995 must have felt like insane. Make your computer both a Macintosh and a Unix workstation. Well, guess what? It is now. Still, the current Mac OS is still certified Unix. Whatever certified means, but it's Unix. It's not Linux. It's Unix. Same old here. Just looking for anything interesting. Trade in your old Mac for a Power Mac. Advertising compact stuff here. I guess they figure if you're gonna buy a computer, you might as well buy something, even if you don't want a Mac. Milk? What the heck, man? I guess based on those milk ads that they had, encouraging people to drink milk. I hate milk with a passion. I hate the way it tastes. I hate just about everything about it. But I'm not lactose intolerant. I just don't like it. The only good using milk is make ice cream, honestly. We're getting here toward the end. Here's the teacher ads. CD-ROM. I feel like this has been kind of a boring episode, so I apologize. There just hasn't been that much new. Yeah, here's Guy Kawasaki's column here. What is this? Macworld columnist grills the Apple fellow. Wait. Oh, this is one they made Guy Kawasaki an Apple fellow. Let's see. Is Windows 95 good enough to fool people? It depends on which people. Pigs will floss for Windows fool discriminating people. Saying Windows 95 is equal to Macintosh. It's like finding a potato that looks like Jesus and believing you witnessed the second coming. Dang, man. Always the evangelist. Always the evangelist. Alright, I think this is the end. If you can't live without this, this is to die for. What? It's an organizer. I've been using electronic calendars for 30 years now, so at least 30 years now. So I can't imagine going back to paper. Absolutely would not fit for me. Anyway, if you made it this far, congratulations on getting to the end. I apologize for the coughing and yawning. It is really late and it's starting to get really cold here in the trailer. I might have to go jump start the heater. But Anyway, thank you for making it to the end. As we move through November, I hope if you're watching this, I hope you have, if you're in America anyway, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're not in America, have a wonderful November. Um, and about time moving to the holidays. I will be back next month, December 1st, with December 1995, and we will wrap up the year 1995 in the Macworld reviews. So, once again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.